Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce my name, Naofal Adiliantama, class I1, English course, semester 3. I will explain about SSD. What is SSD? SSD stands for Solid State Drive or Solid State Disk. Is a data storage device that uses a series of ICs as memory that is used to store data or information. So in this text we can store data or information. Slide number 2 is function SSD. Function here I explain the three main function of SSD. Function number 1, SSD can speed up when opening application or software. So SSD fast when we are want to opening application or something. Now function number 2, speed up the computer startup process, also known as the boot process. So when we turn on the computer, the SSD writes quickly at a boot. The process doesn't take a long time. The function number 3, SSD is also the same a hard drive that is read and stored something permanently. So SSD the same a hard drive, so she can read and store something permanently or non-permanently. So slide number 4 is specification. Specification SSD is general specification. Now then you know what an SSD. It's time to dive into the technical specification. You should know when shopping for a solid state drive. General specification include from number 1, specification number 1 is form factor, number 2 is interface, number 3 is read speed, number 4 is write speed, number 6 is the TBW endurance rating, overall life, IOPS, storage capacity, memory cell types, is LC, MLC, TLC, QLC, PLC. Okay, so what the different SSD M.2 SATA and SSD M.2 NVMe. So in this picture is the SSD M.2 SATA. Okay, so this is the brand and size here. The brand is Team Group M.2 SATA 2218 MS 13 SSD 512 GB. Compatibility: almost all moderators have SATA slot, be it old or new. Therefore, SATA SSD can be installed on almost any type of motherboard. This is the difference from the M.2 NVMe SSD. Only new motherboards released in recent years have M.2 slot, so not all computer can be installed with this M.2 SSD. Okay, so this is the picture of SSD M.2 NVMe. So we can see the difference about object SSD M.2 SATA and SSD M.2 So this is the yellow card SSD M.2 NVMe. This is a slot card. Yellow card is SSD M.2 SATA. So we can see the difference. Okay, the brand SSD Samsung Plus adapter NVMe Evo 197 SATA 512 GB MacBook Air Retina. The size is 256 15.6 gigabyte. Okay, so the different speed, because it's using the latest technology. NVMe SSD generally have a much higher speed than SATA SSD. As previously explained, NVMe SSD can reach speeds of 3115 megabyte per second and may continue to increase in the future. Meanwhile, SSD SATA only have speed in the range of 1500 and 1515 megabyte per second, and this speed cannot increase above 1600 megabyte per second, considering that SATA 3 only has speed limit of up to 600 megabyte per second. So this is a difference of SSD M.2 SATA and NVMe. So compatible SSD M.2 SATA and NVMe is SSD SATA can all motherboard old or new version. SSD NVMe is just a new motherboard, can old version of motherboard. Okay, so speed SSD NVMe can reach speeds 315,000 megabyte per second. SATA just can reach speed is 1500 or 515 megabyte per second. Okay, the maximal SSD SATA 3 only has speed limit up to 1600. Oh, next slide, how to solve it. So this is the problem, this is to fix. So I have an SSD, and the problem I'm finding is that the SSD is working and running, and when opening application it often show a blue screen. This is a problem. So how we can fix the problem? This is the way. The way to fix it is to reinstall Windows to a lower version or the same version. When the partition is divided, you format all the partition and you create a new partition. Okay, so this is the problem. This is to how to fix it. So that's all I can present, more or less. Sorry. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.